Have you ever walked away from an argument feeling drained, frustrated, or even defeated? Here's the harsh truth. Winning the argument often means losing your peace. But what if I told you there's a way to stay calm, composed, and in control no matter what's thrown at you? Arguments are unavoidable. Whether it's a heated debate at work, a misunderstanding with a loved one, or a clash of opinions online, conflicts can leave us feeling emotionally overwhelmed. But the Stoics believed there's a better way. They taught us how to control our emotions, master our reactions, and find peace even in the storm of conflict. Today, I'm going to share 5 powerful Stoic strategies to help you stay calm in arguments and turn chaos into clarity. Let's dive in. We've all been there. Someone says something that pushes your buttons, and before you know it, you're in the middle of a heated argument. Your heart races, your voice gets louder, and your mind scrambles to find the perfect comeback. But as the tension rises, so does the cost. You might say things you don't mean, hurt relationships you value, or spend hours replaying the argument in your head, wishing you'd handled it differently. Why does this happen? It's because arguments often trigger our fight or flight response. Our brains perceive the situation as a threat, and we react impulsively, driven by anger, fear, or frustration. The result: we lose control. And when we lose control, we lose clarity, perspective, and the chance to resolve the conflict constructively. The Stoics understood this dilemma well. Living in the politically turbulent world of ancient Rome, they faced countless conflicts and challenges. Yet their writings show us that staying calm in the face of conflict isn't just possible, it's a skill we can all learn. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. The problem is, most of us aren't taught how to handle arguments constructively. We're taught to defend ourselves, prove we're right, or win the debate. But what if winning isn't the goal? What if the goal is to stay calm, maintain control, and handle the situation with wisdom and grace? That's what the Stoics teach us. It's not about avoiding arguments altogether. It's about mastering your emotions so arguments no longer control you. Here are 5 Stoic strategies to help you do just that. Step 1. Pause before you react. One of the biggest mistakes we make in arguments is reacting too quickly. We feel the need to respond immediately, often without thinking through our words or actions. The Stoics believe that true power comes from mastering the gap between stimulus and response. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Deeper analysis. The Stoic pause isn't just about buying time. It's about reclaiming control over your mind. Think of it as a reset button. When you pause, you shift from being reactive to being reflective. This simple act allows you to access your rational mind rather than being driven by your emotions. The pause is like a shield against impulsive words or actions that could escalate the conflict. Practical advice: when someone says something that triggers you, pause. Take a deep breath. Count to 5. This simple act of pausing gives you time to regain control over your emotions and choose your response intentionally rather than impulsively. Modern example: imagine you're in a heated work meeting. A colleague dismisses your idea, and your instinct is to fire back with a sharp retort. Instead, you pause, take a sip of water, and gather your thoughts. By the time you respond, You've chosen words that convey your perspective calmly and professionally, rather than words that could harm your relationship. Exercise. The next time you feel yourself getting heated, practice the Stoic pause. Take a step back, literally or mentally, and remind yourself, I control my response. Notice how this shifts your perspective. Step 2. Focus on what you can control in any argument. There are factors you can control and factors you can't. You can't control what the other person says, thinks, or feels. But you can control your own thoughts, words, and actions. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control, and it's one of the most powerful tools for staying calm in conflict. Perspective. The dichotomy of control isn't about ignoring the other person, it's about freeing yourself from the frustration of trying to change what's outside your influence. B. Why focusing on your own behavior, you reclaim your power. Practical advice. When you're in an argument, ask yourself, what's within my control right now? Focus your energy on staying calm, listening actively, and responding thoughtfully. Let go of the urge to control the other person or force them to see things your way. Historical context. The Stoic philosopher Seneca often wrote about maintaining calm in the face of provocations. In one instance, he advised a friend dealing with an angry relative to focus on his own patience and kindness rather than trying to change the relative's behavior. Exercise. Create a mental checklist for arguments. Whenever you're in conflict, go through the list. Am I controlling my tone of voice? Am I choosing my words carefully? Am I staying focused on the issue rather than attacking the person? Step 3. Practice empathy and understanding. The Stoics believed that understanding others is key to maintaining inner peace. Marcus Aurelius wrote, whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize? Arguments often escalate because we're focused on proving we're right instead of understanding the other person's perspective. Richer insights. Empathy isn't about being passive, it's about being wise. When you seek to understand the other person, you create a bridge rather than a barrier. This shift not only diffuses tension, but also fosters mutual respect, even in disagreement. Practical advice. Shift your focus from winning the argument to understanding the other person. Ask open-ended questions like, why do you feel that way? Or, can you help me understand your perspective? Empathy doesn't mean you have to agree. It means you're willing to listen and validate their feelings. Modern application. Consider a family dispute over differing life choices. Instead of reacting defensively, try to understand the fears or hopes underlying the criticism. Acknowledge their concerns, even if you don't agree. This approach transforms conflict into connection. Exercise. During your next argument, practice active listening. Repeat back what the other person says to confirm you've understood them. For example, so what you're saying is, this simple technique can diffuse tension and create a more constructive dialogue. Step 4. Detach from the outcome. One of the reasons arguments feel so stressful is because we're attached to a specific outcome. We want the other person to agree with us, apologize, or change their behavior. But the Stoics teach us that peace comes from detaching from outcomes we can't control. Seneca said, "He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary." In-depth exploration. Detachment doesn't mean apathy. It means focusing on your principles and actions rather than external results. This mindset not only reduces stress, but also helps you approach the argument with greater clarity and calm. Practical advice. Instead of focusing on winning the argument, focus on staying true to your values. Ask yourself, am I handling this situation with integrity, patience, and respect? If the answer is yes, you've already succeeded, regardless of the other person's reaction. Philosophical example. When Marcus Aurelius faced opposition in his rule, he focused on being a just and wise leader rather than trying to appease everyone. His detachment from public opinion allowed him to act with unwavering integrity. Exercise. Practice detachment in small conflicts. For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic or interrupts you in a meeting, remind yourself, their behavior doesn't define me. I'm in control of my response. Step 5. Reflect and learn. Every argument is an opportunity to grow. The Stoics believed in the power of self-reflection as a tool for personal development. After a conflict, take time to reflect on what went well, what could have been handled better, and what lessons you can apply in the future. Enhanced perspective. Reflection isn't just about analyzing the past, it's about preparing for the future. By learning from each conflict, you build the skills to handle future challenges with greater wisdom and composure. Practical advice. At the end of each day, spend 5 minutes journaling about any conflicts you experienced. Ask yourself, did I stay calm and composed? Did I focus on what I could control? What could I do differently next time? Historical example. Seneca often reflected on his day before bed, analyzing his actions and identifying areas for improvement. This practice allowed him to grow continuously and face challenges with greater resilience. Exercise. Create a Stoic conflict journal. Use it to document arguments, your reactions, and the insights you gained. Over time, you'll notice patterns and develop stronger emotional resilience. Here's the breakthrough. Arguments don't have to control you. By applying these Stoic principles, pausing before you react, focusing on what you can control, practicing empathy, detaching from the outcome, and reflecting on your experiences, you can transform conflict into an opportunity for growth. Imagine walking away from an argument feeling calm, confident, and in control. That's not just a possibility, it's a skill you can master. The Stoics showed us that true strength isn't about overpowering others, it's about mastering ourselves. And when you master yourself, no argument can shake your inner peace. Stay calm in arguments and control your emotions. Remember these 5 key Stoic strategies. Pause before you react. Give yourself time to think before responding. Focus on what you can control. Let go of trying to control others and focus on your own actions and mindset. Practice empathy and understanding. Listen actively and seek to understand the other person's perspective. Detach from the outcome. Focus on staying true to your values rather than forcing a specific result. Reflect and learn. Use every conflict as an opportunity to grow and improve. Arguments are a part of life, but they don't have to control you. In these timeless Stoic principles, you can stay calm, maintain your inner peace, and handle any conflict with wisdom and grace. The world may be chaotic, but your mind doesn't have to be. Take these steps today and watch how your approach to arguments begins to transform. Remember, staying calm isn't about avoiding conflict, it's about mastering it. Subscribe for more Stoic insights to help you master your emotions and transform your life.